Because I was like, what is going on? Why can't, and I noticed it right away. I was like, it sure is quiet in here today. She should have gave her, yeah. Thank you, Tori. She should have gave him let me explain something. Let me tell you what I would have did. So, Billy, if you're just now jumping in, we're talking about what happened with Marvin Winans and with him not taking because he said that's not what I told you to do. Well, anyway, so he was asking for $2,000 basically. He said 1,000 plus 1,000. That's what I said, Billy. It was disgraceful, and I thought, well, why would he do that? First of all, to shame her in front, it was a rebuke in front of the church, and I didn't think that was appropriate to do that at all. If you heard what she said, I am believing in faith for the $2,000. But here's what I have. Hey, Spread Love, how are you? Hey, We Shock, how are you? Come on in the room. I made a mistake. Girl, I've been on here since 8 o'clock. I've been on here since 8 o'clock. And if it deals with Nia hadn't told me, I accidentally had it on Superfans because I didn't know I had Superfans, and I was playing around with it today, and I was like, oh, well, what is this? What is this? What does this do? What does this do? And I accidentally turned on only Superfans to talk. And she was like, let me let her know. Yeah. And I was like, that's not what is that? No, we're not doing that. We're gonna let everybody in here. So thank you all for jumping back in. But anyway, he turned her around. And if I'm not mistaken, he gave her envelope back. He put it back in her hand and turned her away. And that blew me out the water because I thought to myself, bro, you don't know this woman's situation. How dare you? That's number one. And some people were in my comments on Meta and they were saying, stop lying on the man of God. He didn't rebuke her. I was like, well, then what do you call what he did? You know what I mean? Like, he refused her. He admonished her in front of the church. And I had a problem with that. I don't care if she had 50 cents. Because I think somebody came up there with a nickel, like, little whatever. I think it was for the children. So, hey, Granny, how are you? So the topic tonight right now, we're talking about Marvin Winans and what he did. And I don't really want to get into somebody saying, oh, well, don't put your mouth on the man of God and so forth. Hey, Cheryl, thank you for popping back in. That's not why we're here. Why we're here is we're talking about how sometimes when people get in leadership and they've been there for a while, they kind of get beside themselves and they can be disrespectful. And yeah, you Cheryl's on the YouTube, honey. You on the Tori, exactly. That was all she had. And it was clear that was all she had, because if she had $2,000, she was willing to give it. And that's my only point. Is we have to be careful, because people say, oh, well, don't put your mouth on the man of God. How about that man of God shouldn't have put his mouth on that woman like that? We have to treat people like we want to be treated, no matter who we are. That's my whole thing. If you treat me with respect, I will treat you in kind. So, Granny, to answer your question, so Granny just asked a question, y'all. She said, do you believe politics has a place in church? Yes and no. Now, during the civil rights movement, no, it wasn't in love. It was not. It sounded very curt, and it was, well, that ain't what I told you to do. First of all, bro, she a grown woman just like you're a grown man. And I don't care that your last name is Winans. What you miss? Marvin Winans in here cutting up, talking to folks any kind of way. I don't care who you are. If you talk to people crazy, then I'm just saying, you ought to treat people right. I don't understand. And he refused her $1,235 because it wasn't $2,000. Do you know how many other people should have got up when she did? Because she turned around. Now, I don't know if she went back to her seat or what, right? But I would have turned around and I'd have left. Right, Sugar Mama, I saw that today. So some news came out that I saw today that I was not aware of, that they've been building a church, a multi-million dollar church that's overgrown. Like the entire church should have left the way he talked to her. I don't care who you are. He didn't have no right to do that. Now, I'm gonna also say this. I don't know who posted the video, but sometimes it's okay. I'm glad. And Sugar Mama, they laughed. They laughed at it. And she looked shamed. She looked absolutely embarrassed. And I was like, oh, I cannot believe that this is the kind of stuff that these churches is allowing to happen. You know, and I was like, wow. Like, this what we doing in 2025? In 2025, this is how we're treating people. And I don't get that. You don't know that woman's situation. She said she had 1235 and she was believing for the rest. That told you right there she didn't have it. But she was willing to stand before God in her faith. And when people, here's the thing that we have to also understand as people in leadership or people who people look up to, right? When people look up to you, you have to be careful because what you say and how you treat them could make or break them. I hope her and her family don't ever go back to that church. There are there are. There absolutely are. And I thought, no, I couldn't ever see myself treating anybody like that. Now, if you up there for the foolery, okay, then we're definitely going to say no. But she had it. It was in her hand. She could have been on her last leg. Look, that part, Tori. Yeah. He handled that poorly. Son standing right there. And you know what? He's never going to forget that. And in his mind, he may never go back to church. He may make a decision to say, I've never forgotten how my mom stood up there and was believing for a blessing. See, a lot of times in my head, I was thinking what should, and I don't know this dude, so I can't say what should or should not have happened, but I know if I'm coming before somebody and I'm saying, this is all I got, and I'm believing in faith, you know what she was asking for? That part, for somebody to stand in agreement with her, that whatever she was looking for would manifest itself in whatever way it's supposed to. And it didn't happen that way. And I was like, wow. And sometimes we have to be careful because we don't know if we're being tested. Yeah, pastors like this will make people not want to go to church anymore. And it's happening. That's why I left. I was like, oh, no, y'all count me out. I'm not going, no, because it's how you treat people. And then there are people who are willing to come into the church and help and do the community work and do the hard work. And people are literally just walking away. You know, a lot of us are making decisions. Either we were in ministry or we were not. I was in ministry. And I was like, no, this ain't for me. Something in me snapped. And in 2025, I realized a couple of things. My faith walk is my faith walk. 2020 has been a joke because of this and all the crazy shit going there for everyone. Yeah, well, spread love. I mean, you know, my thing is when it comes to ministry in this situation, I don't think that this played into politics, but how he handled her was over money when it should have been about her faith. Because that's what she needed. With what she said. Now, whether or not that was really but I know what I heard. And he didn't stand to the occasion. He didn't rise to the occasion with that. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? So for those of you all who are just now joining me, I'm Paulette. I'm the owner and founder of Brownstone Worldwide. Y'all notice I'm back in my studio. I'm back in my office. I was sitting at the living room table for a little while, but the colder that it gets, I like to come back here and kind of just sit still a little bit, you know, and I'm going to have to start doing that anyways, because here's a true story. I'm starting to notice that my content is being taken and they're usually getting a bare wall and they can just make it their own. And I'm getting lots of links from friends and people that know me, that I'm being found on other people's platforms. And that's okay, but you all don't acknowledge me. So I'm starting to use more watermarks and stuff like that. So I have to kind of, put that out there too. And I'm going to get a sign that said Brown, they put it right there, Brownstone Worldwide, so you can see it. I wouldn't have went up unless I had the amount requested and led by God. And the thing is unforgettable with what she said. She was led by God. So the question was, who was that? Who was that for? Was it for him or was it for her in terms of the lesson? Because I don't think that she would have gone up there. Exactly. I think that was for him. Unforgettable. What I said was the lesson for him or was it for her? This is something to think about. Like I'm no guru in that department, but I do know that each one of us has a lesson and an experience that we're here for. And I think it was a lesson for her as well. It was. I think the bigger lesson, it was very clear. Now she has a decision to make. She can either take this road and continue down that road with Pastor Winans, or she can make a decision to say, you know what? I don't need to be a part of an organization that will publicly make me feel less than. Right. She could choose either road. And he didn't choose from my perspective. I don't know what his is because I'm not him. But what I'm saying is if you made that kind of decision, you impacted that woman's faith. Because she said, I am believing for the 2,000. In other words, I want to donate more. I don't have it. But I'm trusting God with what I have, which tells me in my head, in my mind, if I come up and I say I got $1,235, that's all I got. And I'm trusting God that he's going to give me an increase based on this. I'm trusting him. So I'm getting ready to give this to this ministry. And I know that it will be multiplied. Because that's the level of faith that I have. And he snatched that from her. Right. That was not what was asked. It was 1,000. He said 1,000 plus 1,000. Obedience to whom? And then he said, that ain't what I asked you to do. You wouldn't have went up. But since she made a decision to do so, we honestly don't know if she was led to go up there or if she was really seeking someone to touch and agree with her. Do you see what I mean? Unforgettable. I do believe that. God will bless her because of her heart. I believe that. She'll receive her blessing anyway. Because she did it in good faith. He did. He gave it back to her. He was like, that ain't what I asked you to do. I didn't like his response. Heart posture. Hey, Pashal. Y'all, if I say your name wrong, charge it to my eyeballs and not my heart. Okay? I'm just saying, hey, Tony, how are you? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying, there's so many different variables in this particular situation because I get the whole obedience thing and, following the protocol because I know church protocol says we're going to start with this. You're going to get in line. You're going to do this. Da-da-da-da-da, right? I get that part. He would have never had to worry about getting in. It was how he handled it more so than anything. You know what I mean? Yep. That's all. He didn't handle that properly. So, and at number one, as a man of God, but then also as a leader, That speaks volumes on how you talk to your flock. And I don't know if I want to continue to be a part of a ministry where you talk to people like that, that's grown like you and got bills like you. And I don't know the story behind the $1 million church that never got built from donations. I don't know the story. I know what I saw. Hey, yes, Michelle Crochets, how are you? Sugar mama, ain't they? Tony Williams said, is that church pimping? Was it his son who also had them lock the church doors? I don't remember. But didn't that happen over the summer, El Charo? Good to see you. Yes, Michelle. Yeah, so I just kind of, I don't know. That's my whole take on it. And I don't want to spend the entire evening talking about it. But yes, to unforgettable. You're correct in terms of the obedience. But it was a better way to handle that. He could have talked to her better than that. I didn't like that. More so than anything. That's what got me. It was Marvin Sapp. Yes. Hey, Cutter. Yeah, it was Marvin Sapp that did that mess. I said, wait a minute, we locking doors and doing all the fun. And then I saw somebody else say, if you're gonna admonish somebody or dog somebody else out of a clip, let's clip your life or something like that. Like, so we're not here to judge that. All I know was I saw when she went up there, what he said prior to that. I saw that. So I saw enough for me to deduct that he did give. I'm not going to take this from him. He did give a directive. I am looking for 1,000 plus 1,000 were his words. That's $2,000. Folks got in line. She got up there and said she had 1,235. He said, that ain't what I asked you to do. And he gave her envelope and turned her away. And I thought, what? Marvin? Because I'm a Winans fan, Yep, in today's economy, he was blessed to get anything. He really was. He really was. That's all I'm saying. And like I said, I don't want to continue to keep harping on that. You know what I mean? But I just thought that was something that we definitely need. And then people like, oh, stop lying on the man of God. I know what I saw. And it's 2025, y'all. Stop putting them people on. They're people. They are people. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. So let's talk about the government shutdown. We're on day 21. Let's talk about that. When did it become we shall say, when did it become so expensive to be in church? You know what? That's a really good question. That is dropping some love. Hey, yes, Michelle, thank you so much. Church pimping, yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. So y'all, here's a true story. I was literally on here and I accidentally had TikTok on Superfan. So nobody but Superfans was able to talk. And I was like, it's awful quiet over here. What's going on? I had it on Superfan. And nobody could tell me that I had it on Superfan. Except Superfans. And so somebody finally did say, hey, girl, you got it on Superfan. So thank you. Shout out to Deals with Nia. All right. So let's jump into what is currently happening. We talked briefly before I went live. Y'all was trying. Oh, I appreciate that. Well, I'm glad that we got that squared away for real. Because I was like, now my people not talking to me. What's really going on? Is everybody fried chicken? Am I on too early? You kept leaving it. No, I couldn't. I accidentally had it on. I had it on Superfans, and I apologize for that. All right. We were talking about the Trump administration. Donald Trump, he wants $230 million from the Department of Justice. And I thought, for what? So, of course, I had to go down a rabbit hole because, of course, why not? Why would I not want to go down the rabbit hole and get more information, because why not? So we talked about this on TikTok, but because my other folks are just now jumping on, I definitely wanted to kind of cover this briefly before we move on to that's a shakedown. Listen, you better call it what it is. He said that he wants $230 million in damages, y'all, tied to the Department of Justice FBI investigation into his 2016 campaign's alleged ties with Russia. That's what he said. Yep. And then remember when they went to his home and they found those files? Weren't they in his bathroom or something? And he wants money for that. So it equals out to $230 million. Now, a sitting precedent, like I said earlier, seeking a large payout from the department that investigates the president is highly unusual. In other words, this ain't never happened before. Does he live in reality? He lives in his reality, and he's brought us along for the ride, Granny, because nobody's stopping it. Nobody's stopping it. Now, it is accurate to say that he is seeking around $230 million, because I double checked with several different sources. New York Post is talking about it. The New Republic, The Guardian is talking about it. And he wants compensation for past investigations that, and so here's the thing. I'm not either. I don't enjoy this. And the reason why I'm concerned about this one is for two reasons. One, we're 21 days into a government shutdown. 21 days. And Hakeem Jeffries was with, I think it was, who was it? I had it pulled up. Here it is. Hakeem Jeffries is like, yo, hey, man, get off the golf course. We need you to do something to help get this resolved so we can get the government back running. He basically said Donald Trump definitely needs to get involved. He needs to get off the sidelines, get off of the golf course, and actually decide to end this shutdown that he's created. Now, let's talk about this 60% votes that we keep hearing about, and where they're saying all right, so if then, Tori, some people are not going to get paid, which is why TSA lines are so long right now. Okay. So we have a lot of lines at TSA. I know here in Atlanta, West Wing being torn down. Why? It's the East Wing, OG Ty. But let's talk about that, shall we, while this information pulls up for me. So the East Wing to the White House, which was the entrance to the People's House, which was the actual public entrance to the White House, where you could tour specific areas of the White House, not all of it, has been removed. And that was also where the First Lady's office was. It's being demolished. Now, here's something that maybe you guys hadn't read about, but I was reading it. I was reading in the news today that they're asking, not he, but they're asking federal employees who are across the street and can see the demolition to stop posting on social media what's going on, because nobody knew what was happening. Hey, Queen Bee, how are you? No one knew what was happening. George, mine is too. Mine is too. Yes, they should have. It should have been approved. But now, according to the sources, because I did a report on this yesterday, it was not approved, but they moved forward with it anyway. Yeah, he big mad about that. But they caught it on video when they were demolishing the entrance, the public entrance to, and that's on the East Wing. So, Mookie, I don't know. Yeah. No, it's not. It's not. And he said something today. Now, I'm going to also put this out here. Not today, but, he had all the people behind him, and some people look not so happy to be there. But I think they were doing it just out of the, courtesy of being a part of whatever organization. He said that he was helping to beautify the White House. And I thought, he really does live in his own world. Because he said he's beautifying the White House. He's going to leave it better than, he said something like, I'm going to leave it better than I found it, or something like that. To that effect. And in my head, I thought, oh, so you do know that this is temporary. Like, you ain't going to be here. And so it's actually, the facility itself is actually bigger than the White House, is what they're saying. Vintage Honey said he not leaving. Narcissistic command. Girl, gold and white. That's all I have to say about that. But yes, if you have heard that it's the West Wing, it is actually the East Wing. Now, let's also put this in perspective, because a lot of people have been saying every president, has done something to the White House, right? There have always been changes made to the White House. Nobody has demolished wings of the White House. He said that he was not going to touch the current structure. It's being demolished, folks. It's done. And several videos that they wish that people hadn't posted are out there. So yeah. Yep. And he said that some of this is coming from his donations. These are not taxpayer dollars. These are through corporate donations. That's what he said. So, of course, last night what we did was what? We looked it up. We found out who those donations were, folks. For those of you all who are new here, thank you so much for joining us. He did, pretty much. Right. It is no longer a historical marker because of this. Thank you so much for that, Vintage Honey. Maybe he's mad at his wife for staying in New York. Wait, what? I thought she was at the White House with him. Yes, so Blackstone is a part of it. Sick Vic, yes, we know. 4 years. So here's Shell T2. Here's a couple of the donors for the ballroom. One, now listen to this. Google donated. However, it was a settlement donation. So basically, you do know that he sued YouTube. And so this money that whatever the amount is going towards the building of it. Lockheed Martin gave $10 million. Blackstone, we found out yesterday, was it Blackstone or BlackRock, y'all? I had it pulled up and I closed it out. Hang on, let me see if I can pull it back up in my history. So we went to Fintel.io. Remember? Fintel.io. For those of you all who are new here, we like to do digging in your face. So you can't ever say that you didn't know or that we didn't do it together. And we found out it's Blackstone. Blackstone Group Portfolio Holdings donated to the ballroom as well. So these are not taxpayers' dollars. These are, and let me be clear, these are not excuses that I am giving for what is occurring. Because again, you still demolished this historic building. And you said you weren't going to do that. Now, let's talk about that, Billy. What I learned, I'm going to go ahead and pull it back up. Because I kept the notes from yesterday. Where'd it go? Here we go. Ballroom donors. Okay, so a couple of things. Right, history gone. See, that's the thing, is history's gone. A lot of empty political conversations taken for face value. Planning Commission hasn't approved the ballroom, but they move forward. Yes, correct. That is exactly what happened, Anne. Yeah. Lockheed Martin is for sure one. $10 million. Booz Allen Hamilton is the consulting in cybersecurity. listed among the firms pledging to the project $5 million or more. Who got a pen? My list just refreshed. Because yesterday you couldn't get the whole list. CBS News is reporting on it. Washington Post is reporting on it. AP News is reporting on it. Now, the project is being run through a nonprofit for the National Mall, supporting the National Park Service. So the White House is a part, if you didn't know, of the National Park Service, and described as, quote, privately funded. So no congressional appropriation was used for this. Now, a lot of companies have been identified, but the exact pledged amount for some of these companies has not been disclosed, because a lot of these donors are refusing to say that they donated. So let's talk about that. They're paying for it. Wait, where are you located? Yeah, it's being run through 501c3s, nonprofits, but they have to provide records. Yes, they do. You're in New Zealand? Well, welcome to the neighborhood, New Zealand. And you know what? Wait, let me keep it 100 with you. I follow a lot of you guys, and I haven't seen you all in a while, so it's good to see that you're here. Mookie, Mookie Boo, that's how it's looking right now. All right, so some donors choose to remain anonymous. We're going to talk about that in just a minute, Grateful. All right, so the White House is not traditionally funded by private donations for expansions like this at this scale, okay? Ethics observers have raised questions about, quote, pay for access, because at the end of the day, that's what a lot of this is. It's paying for access. Lockheed Martin, we know, has massive contracts with the United States government, right? All right, now let's talk about the list that I currently have. Lockheed Martin, Defense and Aerospace, pledged $10 million, according to CBS News. Right, exactly. Yeah, if people find out who it is, Boca, yeah, absolutely. Google LLC. They're donating. However, according to the Washington Post, it states that it was a settlement donation, which basically means y'all got strong arm. They took your settlement money and said, here, we're gonna give you that money that we settled on, but we're gonna put it on this. Booz Allen Hamilton, $5 million or more, but it is not specified how much, folks. Okay. Next Era Energy. It's energy and utilities. Y'all writing this down so you can do your research on y'all. It feels that way, doesn't it, OG Ty? Amazon is on the list. We found that out yesterday. Palantir Technologies, we knew that. We absolutely knew. Data and analytics. You all do know that the ties and the connection there are because we know about this data that they're doing. RJ Reynolds Tobacco. $5 million plus. According to CBS News, according to AP News, there are officially 130 donors. Yep. Next Era Energy. Yes. Meta. They attended the donor event, and they're listed as one of the contributing companies. So there's that. Y'all, look, how'd that happen? I don't want to get another chair. It's not shocking. I know you meant that being facetious though, Ari. So this is the current list, folks. If you're not familiar with what is currently happening, we're actually vintage honey. That's what it sounds like. What is happening? So let's put this in perspective, because y'all know I like to do that. What we are talking about here, I almost want to take my glasses off and look at it. I need to look at it. You know how you take your glasses off so you can see. So let's put this in perspective. But is it really though, Kelly? I need something right. Here we go. I actually have a really big sheet of paper, but we're going to use this. The teacher in me. All right, let's do this. Come on. Here we go. All right, so we're going to use the back of this calendar. And I'm going to talk about this. Wonder what GuideStar has on the 501c3. I don't know. That would be a great question to ask. Let's ask. Am I standing up? Becca, you think so? Becca says you're a brave, smart, fierce woman, child. I didn't feel like it this morning, and I didn't feel like it last night. Let's just say that. So let's look at this and put this in perspective. Where first things first. Close your eyes. All right, neighbors. And I'm going to ask you to do one thing, and I'm going to say this in love. Get out your feelings. For these people, this is about the money. Get out your feelings. That's the first thing I need y'all to do. Because that's where we keep messing up. Exactly, spread love. It's always been about the money. This is not, let me explain something else to y'all. Can I go here? And I know you don't want to believe it. This ain't personal. This business. Come on, vintage honey, please say it again. This is not personal. This is business. Pay attention to everything that is currently going on. I didn't say it was right. See, because there's a difference between being right and saying being ethically minded and saying that's not right, or saying how much can we make off of that. Now, oh, don't worry, we're gonna find that out in just a second. Who's doing the demolition? So let's look at this in perspective. So today, I went, this is me. Let me draw myself. I need a marker. I need a marker. Hold on, because I'm getting ready to act a fool. This is me. Okay. Y'all see me in the middle? That's me right there. You see me? Okay. All right. Now. First thing that I did today was I got up and I ran my reports. And I looked at my schedule and I sent out emails to clients that needed them. Not only did I do that, but I also, yes, Pictionary. I also communicated with clients that needed a redo of some commercials that got cut last week and they wanted some edits. They only get one edit from me. They only get one. Anything else, and you send it back to me, you're going to pay an additional fee for that. Period. Okay. So one of the things that I did was I crossed that off my list. I'm going somewhere with this. I promise. I promise you. But it's business. It's not personal. Because if you want additional work from me, because it costs me time to make those edits, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna charge you. Period. Because I got to hire somebody or bring in the original editor to do the work again. It's not personal. Because guess what? That original editor is taking time out of his day to do what's necessary for me to get the work back. Then I went about my day. Went and had lunch, did all my little things, right? Went and I grabbed, what did I do? I know what I did. I went to a bookstore, and that's where I found all of these Vogue magazines that were brand new, had never been opened from 2015, 2016, 2017. And they were $1. And I was like, yo, I love magazines. I'm going to go ahead and put them here with my Vogue glasses, right? They're not the same company, however. But somebody else made money off of me today. Cross that off. It was just $9. But cross that off. Then when I got through, I said, oh, I'm going to go back to the office and I'm going to cash a couple of checks that I got in the mail today from clients. And I'm going to go ahead and cross that off. So I made some extra money today. Okay. I went on ahead and I held 2 meetings I promise you I'm going somewhere with this. I'm going somewhere with this, I swear. And I hope some of you all are catching this. So that part, steps. So then I came in, this true story. I came in and I cleaned off my desk today and I set up an additional computer over here. So when I need to have virtual meetings with people who are not going to be coming into the studio or here in the office, I will be able to meet with them because guess what? It's time for us to compile all of the article content for Brownstone Living Magazine because guess what? It's getting ready to drop, which means what do we have to do? We need to close contracts. Why? Because everybody that's on this little team right here, they're looking to get paid on Friday. Friday is payday for Brownstone Worldwide. Are you following where I'm going with this? Hold on. Now, at 5 o'clock, I left here and I went to my Chamber of Commerce's. This is when it starts to get good. So you see, do you see where I've been following the money all day? Because I have to. You see what? Oh, Mookie Boo, I got the perfect thing for you. We're gonna talk about it at the end because we actually do have something to help us continue. So you're following where I'm going. In order for me to continue to keep doing this, and what I'm talking about today, and making sure that come Friday, payday, I've made sure the invoices are paid because guess what? People don't work for free. They're looking for their money. So what do I need to do to continue to drive more business? So that I can continue to do what? Make more money, make more money, make more money, make more money, make more money. I got to get out here and network. So what did I do? I went to my local Chamber of Commerce meeting today. And we did an after hours. And it was at this beautiful house that used to, it's a beautiful building, but it's a historic building in this area. And it's got 3 quarters, slave quarters in the back, and they're trying to renovate the building. And so we had our after hours there. So all of these local businesses came there today. And guess what? I was networking today. I was talking about what people needed and what I needed. And because I am a part of this chamber, that opens up opportunities. Listen to what I'm saying. Get out your feelings. On this level where I'm at, I'm not about to be able to pay because of freaking tariffs not being able to mail things to them. I know what you mean, KB. But are you following what I'm saying? If we get out of our feelings and because I'm going to tell you something, I have to turn it off sometimes. And here's the thing. When you go to these events, you have to recall all the things that you did throughout the day and you say, and you add it up. I add it up every day. How much money do I need to make today? How much money do I need to make sure that my people taken care of first? That's me. So I'm looking at all of the streams and the sources. And then I come over here. Follow me. I come over here because there's a pool. There's a pool of other businesses here that's going to help me do what? If I work it right. make more money. Make sense? And I'm going to be honest with you. I know that this is what they're doing. I know, Henry. I know. It doesn't make it right. It makes sense. This is what they're doing. Because if you notice, even on our list over here, it's the same people. These are the same folks that were at the inauguration in all of their finery. Building relationships so that they can have a long-standing opportunity to get as much money as they can while this current administration is going on. Hey there, how are you? Make sense? That's why I say we got to get out our feelings for many reasons so that we can understand this is how we keep ending up behind the 8 ball. Exactly, lobbying. That was basically what I did today. I went and I talked to some people, and guess what? It may not end up being business today, but give it 6 months, give it a year. I may need them, they may need me. But guess what I have developed along the way? Relationships. Amazon. Period. Exactly, Wade. That's it. You got to get, yep, you cannot. And let me just keep it 100 with y'all. And why I want us to think like this, because it's real. I'm not saying that it's right, but that's the mentality. That's the thought process. Let me keep it 100. This ain't got nothing to do. It does not matter. How much money do I need to make so I can stay open? And I'm talking about on the level that I'm currently at. And the people in my current pool or lake, this is what we do. We build relationships. And those relationships allow us to be able to pick up the phone. This is actually happening. Hey, girl, what you doing? Oh, nothing. What's going on? How are you? Oh, nothing. I have a friend that has a budget of XYZ. And they need somebody to come in and film over the weekend. You got anybody that can do it? I sure do. Hold on just a minute. Let me make a phone call. I send a message. I send Corey. I send Jonathan. I'll call Lamont and say, this is what I need. They have a budget of, I may tell, if they tell me they have a budget of 10 grand or 5 grand or whatever, I'll say, I've got 1,500 I can give you. Can you knock it out in 5 hours? Are you following where I'm going with this? That's how we keep seeing the same names, because they built relationships with one another over time. Now, some of the stuff that's happening, I don't agree with. Hey, Spin the Top, how are you? I'm telling everybody to get out their feelings. Was this helpful? Was my little drawing, my horrible drawing, was this helpful to you guys? But that's what's happening. This is what is happening for real, y'all. It in their brain, in their business mind, they are making deals, folks. That's what they're doing. And they're creating a way for them to make more money, folks. Signing the same people. Hey, Kayshawn, you listening to Learn and Take Notes? Wonderful. So when we remove our emotions out of what is currently happening, and we look at it from a simple perspective, because there's a part of my brain that says, no, that's unethical, right? And there are some people that will say that that's right. But the investment is the networking. Exactly, Mookie Boo. You got to get out here in these streets. It's not knocking on your door. It's not always about being on social media, because that's not what I do. Because I recognize that I have to get out here in these streets and build relationships. Because what else does that do for me? It builds a know, like, and trust factor with the circle of people that I want to be around anyway. The reason why this is so impactful for us is because these are the companies that we utilize and are a part of the brand awareness that we have become accustomed to. They are a fabric of our lives, and we're offended. And they ain't messed up about you like that. How much more money can we make? Right. But Amri, here's what I honestly, and I get it, but are they being bought? I just want us to, from a philosophical perspective, are they being bought or are they making deals? Which one is it? I promise you I'm going somewhere with this. Are they being bought or are they making deals? Because if I put enough money on the table, I can get in. If I put enough money on the table at the local chamber of commerce, I can get in. Membership has its privileges. It's certain things that I have access to if. Oh, is that what you meant? Yeah. It's not the same. They're not being bought. They're buying in. They're buying in. Because we all know that money has been donated through what? PACs and super PACs and APAC. But we're not talking about APAC right now. They donated. What do? I'm new. So they need to get your head out of the cookie jar. Right, we shop. I think it's important for us to understand from this perspective, because if we ever going to play the game, we need to understand how these people think and what they're thinking with. They're thinking with their money. This is a game to them. They're having fun and they're excited. And it does not matter to them the reality that we're living, because their reality doesn't mean a thing to us. Or let me say that again. Their reality is different from what we're living. Right, they are. And he has been. Keep up. But if we look at it once again for what they're doing currently, we got to get out our feelings and think. He didn't even need a commission to okay it. Have you read that? Because the cabinet member will. Yeah. Exactly, MEC. It is about that. And they want to make sure that they put the right people back in position that they want in there. Of course it is. Suze. But this is a bigger game, like what he was doing with real estate. It's the same thing. It's a bigger pool. It's more money. It's billions of dollars. Billions upon billions. It's all about the money. And so when we look at it from that perspective, it helps us to kind of, number one, yeah, Laura, it's grifting. But I also want us to look at it from a perspective of, okay, so now that I'm looking at this maybe from a different lens, now, hey, Bookish Black Boy Mom, how are you? Now maybe I can figure out how to deal with it. And not deal with it where I'm stomaching it on a day-to-day basis, right, in so many different areas. So not dealing with it, but how to address it from a place that they can understand. Yes, know your enemy. And right now, we look like a bunch of 3-year-olds having a temper tantrum for the past 8-9 months now. Bingo, Henry. It's what we've been talking about in this room. You learn from the best. That's it. What do they understand? Money. That's it. That's it, Cheryl. And I'm coming right back to that. I went shopping today, local, at a resale shop. Took my little $10. I took half of it and bought myself lunch because I wasn't making anything in the house. And I took the other half and I shopped local. Just don't want to go down that road. But here's the problem. We're going to have to. Remember what you always said. Follow the money. Follow the money. Y'all, I'm telling you, they're not even thinking, oh, we're impacting the poor. You know what they're doing? They're making deals on golf courses, folks. Okay. Let me put my golf glove on. They making deals. They doing business. Amory, yes. And they're going to make more business deals in the what? In the ballroom. With private dollars. It was very childish, yo. They don't need no apathy. They don't need none. Don't care. Don't care at all. Now, let me be clear in what I'm saying. I am not saying that it's right. What I'm saying is these are people that are in the same rooms creating opportunities for themselves over and over and over again because they got in this room so they could do what? Make more money. They paid to be in the room. I've paid to be in the room. You ever heard of a mastermind or somebody else that's a part of another organization, a business organization? It's the same. They're paying to be in the room. Remember early on, we found out about that $500,000 that his sons and somebody else's sons got together and created. And the only way that you could get in a room is you had to pay $500K. Y'all remember that? That's it. Pay to play. I don't care about nothing else. Anything else right now kind of feels like it's collateral damage until they create what they want. So when we're talking about that, we recognize that they're playing with money. But we can too. Collectively. You don't have a bank account? That's okay. You got money. And I'm hoping that this makes sense. Hey, Becca, how are you? If we slow down long enough, I didn't say turn your emotions off, but get out your feelings long enough to recognize that these are people that are making business deals and they're doing it with under the auspice of this current administration. Yep. So let's talk about that. And I've heard about the People's Sick Day. I've heard about that. I've heard, about no kings and all of that. And that's fine. But we learned yesterday as a reminder that the bus boycott in Alabama ran for officially 381 days. 381. I said it yesterday and I stand on it again. We can't stay out of Target for 48 hours. But those folks stayed off those buses for 381 days. And they didn't budge. That's where we have to be. How do we do that? What do the people in the neighborhood always say whenever we go live? We say the same thing: shop local. Stay out of these retailers. Stay off of these websites that clearly have given these funds. Me too, we shop. Stop. Just stop. Just stop. That's it. And it's not, you know what? It's not even, let's not call it a boycott, because that's really not what it is. We're just strategizing. We're creating a strategy just like they're creating a strategy. And we're going to get out our feelings, and we're going to find ways for us to keep the dollar in the communities that we're in without it having to leave the community and travel back up to these billionaires' bank accounts so that they can continue to pay those PACs and super PACs and donate to the folks that they want in office. We're not going to make any changes. I'm not saying that every portion of resistance does not work or is not valid. But what I am saying is we can get out of our feelings long enough. And if they could walk to work for 381 days, we have cars, we got internet, a lot of us work from home, we got digital access. Yep, Kelly Bean Greens. Yes. You saw how fast we moved with Jimmy Kimmel? I'm one of those that stopped watching CNN when they cut Don Lemon loose. I'm one of those that stopped with Joy Reid, stopped watching MSNBC when they cut Joy Reid loose. I'm one of those. And I'm telling you, we got to get in the room. How do we get in the room, y'all? In your local community. That's how you do that. Your ticket in is shopping with the boutique, getting your hair cut local at the local barber, making sure that you there's a place here, there's a cake shop here, there's all kinds of businesses in this community where I live. And I promise you, one of the reasons why I started doing it is because my business is a part of our local chamber, but because I realized as a small business myself that I want people to patronize me. I want people to utilize my services, right? So I got in the room. And I get it. Some of you guys don't have other stores or whatever in your area. I understand. Some people said to me today, oh, when we go to Target for Cat and Jack, I get it. I get it. I go to Walmart for the baby's clothes and so forth. Well, you know what? There are these small stores. I'm gonna tell you a place I used to go to get the kids' clothes when they were really small. The store no longer exists. I went to Fred's. My first two, they weren't stair steps. They were 4.5 years apart. But I took them to Fred's. The second two, same thing. Fred, you got Ross stores. We found out yesterday Ross stores is independently owned. Ross Dress for Less, right, Kayshawn? You remember that? Man, I used to love Fred's. What you say? Uh-huh. You got it, Global Palette. Oh, okay. Y'all, time to get out your foot. Because all of this, again, it's okay. We can talk about what's happening in the news. We absolutely need to know what's strategy. I don't want to spend any more time outside of just providing news and information. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I need to be about it. And the only way they are wholly owned and operated by Ross Dress for Less. You got chickens when see, there you go. You buy micro brands. Yes, Hey, Drew Greek, how are you? And it becomes almost fun because then you get to discover the other people in your neighborhood. Who's selling soap? Who makes skincare products? Who got the shoe hookup? Who got the holiday stuff on lock? Who's selling the boiled peanuts? Who's shopping at the local bodegas, like Kayshawn said, right? And here's the thing. To Vintage Honey's point, here's the other thing. These people know that this is their livelihood. So it may be a little bit more expensive, but guess what? You're gonna get quality. You're not gonna be able to get anywhere else. You're not gonna get anyone to say made in China on the bottom. I know it's not that easy. I know. Because you may not live in an area where there are specific things. You may not be able, dude, farming. I think I've heard of him, Global Palette. Even if red hats, what about the red hats? It's some red hats that be in this room quiet as kept. Let's talk. Kayshawn, girl, there is a bakery down the street from my house that does just that. Yeah, shopping local is a lot of fun. You will find a lot of deals. Here's something else. When I say shop local, start in your house first. How much stuff do you have in your house that you keep purchasing over and over that's already in your house? Oh, and you make your own bread now. You can make your own bread. Yes, thank you, Henry. So this is not about anything else. We're not saying that we're excited about what's going on. You can't help it. Well, thank you. You all inspire me. The truth of the matter is that I believe we are all inspiring to one another, and it's a good thing. Because local businesses need us. Because what does it do? Most of these business owners live in the communities where we are. So guess what that money's going to do? It's going to stay in that community. And it's not going to leave at least for about the minimum 7 times. Because they're going to take it and spend it somewhere local, and then somebody else is going to take it and spend it somewhere local, and somebody else. Yeah, it's going to be hard. You know why it's going to be hard? Because we lazy. We are not our grandmothers and our grandfathers. We're not. Because we live in a society where so much is easy, because all we need to do is go like this. Tap, purchase. We lazy. That's it. I bet you somebody here got a patch of land. I bet you somebody here knows about a Roses. We found out yesterday that TJ Maxx and Marshalls are wholly owned subsidiary of the same company, TJX. Dollar Tree got bread. It may not be what you want, right? It might not be, but if you really just don't want to make the bread, go to Dollar Tree. Right. So Sheila says, my burger joint is owned by my neighbors, my taco truck, locals, and lady that cuts my hair in her kitchen. There you go. And guess what happens? If you have a service, Sheila, I bet you any one of those 3 people would offer you would be able to make money from. And so it's doing this back and forth, back and forth. And then eventually it'll leave the community to pay a bill, or to pay the car note, or to pay the mortgage, right? You know what I mean? Rosemary, there is some truth to that too. TJX said, one of the biggest supporters and donors of our current president. We have a soap store here. You can take classes. Sheila says she makes quilts and you barter. I have bartered for my services. If somebody can't afford what I do and I really want to be a part of something that they have going on, guess what I do? I will barter in a heartbeat. I just did a barter because it'll put my business in front of more eyeballs. Yeah, I'm going to do it. So it's not that it can't be done. We don't want the inconvenience of it because we've gotten so used to, like I said, scrolling through. We're literally an on-demand society. But you know what the beauty of that is we have more resources to work with than folks in the past have. Right. Best money saver has been living on a dirt road 45 minutes from town. Yeah, I bet it has. You got a set of new tires for a quilt. See, so it does work. You ask for donations. So again, real talk. This was a really good lesson, and I don't know how I ended up down this road, but I always see it in my head like, oh, well, it's the same thing. That's what's happening here. I didn't say we had to be happy about it, but we must understand that there is a strategy here because these same names keep popping up. Oh, okay. Y'all got a little something going on here. Y'all homies. In a sense of the word. You homies, you hanging out, you doing whatever. Hey, Annie Oman. Right? And y'all making money together. But it's enough people, not just in this room, but for anybody that's watching. Because see, here's the thing. You don't have to take my word for it. Take back to the community of people that may feel like you do. And if you really want to take things back, and if you really want to take some of this control back, because again, we still the people. And there are going to be people that will say, oh, well, you're anti this. No. Let's put this out here right now. There needs to be a clarity and an understanding of what is happening with this current administration, where, number one, people have made decisions with who gets to eat next month. I don't care if it's $25 or $17. Go follow Farm Fresh 24/7. His app is Black owned and connects you to farms for food or learning. Ooh, Farm Fresh. Y'all catch that? Farm Fresh. I think he follows me. I think he tags me and stuff. Is he a brother? So there's a guy up the street, a family up the street from me. They sell wood. I don't have a fireplace, but they sell wood because it's getting ready to get cold, and they sell fresh eggs. Keep a network. Kelly Bean Green says, keep a network. That's all I'm saying. Build a network. Create the network. Same thing. I'm not saying be happy with what the current administration is doing. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is stay informed, stay aware, understand where we currently are with Project 2025, be aware of it, and keep living your life in your network. And keep more of your money in your pocket. Go through your house and see. If I were to show you all the shelves that are in this room with me, full of products from my store before I shut it down, y'all will be like, why are you not selling that stuff? Don't worry. I set up my Whatnot account. You probably have 3 slow cookers right now, and you only use one. One of them is probably still in the box, brand new. And you've had it for 3 years. It's so dusty and Whatnot. Yes. The Whatnot app. Hold on. Let me see. Is it on this phone? It might be. We talked about the Whatnot app last night. Why is that important? Here it is right here. Let's pull it up. We shop. My closet looks just like that. Hey, Morning Star. How are you? Hey, Amber. Excuse me. All right, so the Whatnot app is what eBay should be. Hey, Miss AKA, how are you? It's what eBay should be. But the Whatnot app is a live app, and you can go live, or you could post your deals online like eBay, but you can go live and sell your stuff in your own online store. Here's the app itself. You see the little W right there. See the little W? I'm gonna hold it up to the camera so you can see. See the little W right there. So if I tap on it, it's probably, it'll turn, the little screen to turn yellow. Boom. It looks like TikTok, doesn't it? Y'all see that? They live right now. Let's go live, shall we? Let's go see. Hold on.
Size 14. Size 14. Blissful pink aligned biker shorts, 4-inch inseam. It's the same as the 14 tank top. Yeah, the same exact one. Size 14. Size 14.
She's live right now on the Whatnot app.
4-inch inseam, blissful pink aligned.
Let's scroll and see who else is on here.
Yes,
and no, I'm not being paid for this.
3, 2, 1. Thank you so much.
She's selling Lululemon right now.
2XL with arms wide open. Hard Rock on the front. 2XL.
This is a teenager.
Creed Hard Rock is so crazy. 2XL.
Whatnot.
2XL. Such a good piece.
Now, what they do are either auctions you can bid, or you can buy it right out.
You guys and girly, these are going to be our great.
She's selling Olaplex.
For your hair routine. Well, we'll put 2 for $10. What a deal. Full size.
Is that not the bomb?
Yeah, 250 ml.
Yeah. Now you do have to get approved to sell. Yeah, they ship it to you. Stephanie, I know, right? Like sometimes I don't even go in there and order anything. But why am I bringing this up? Because that's a community by itself. You say some things that you can't get, go to the Whatnot app. I bet you find it there. You won't have to worry about that dirt road. And guess what? Even if you're on the dirt road, turn that thing on, get approved, and go on there and sell some of that stuff that you got 2 and 3 items of. See if you can get rid of it. Of course. Absolutely. This is how we take the power back. Exactly. No, we don't. We don't need 90% of the stuff that we buy. That part, figuring out shipping on your sales, stops me. Well, what you do is what I do is I the first thing that I do is I let the system, it's called Whatnot. Yes, Morningstar. The first thing that I do is I let the system choose it for me, depending on the weight of the most things that I sell, right? So I'm going to give y'all an example. Hold on. I bought a large shipment. This is on one of my shelves that I'm cleaning out. These are brand new, guys. Size 10. I'm not selling anything, y'all. I just want y'all to see. I bought, these are a size 6, brand new. I have 5 pairs of these, right? Brand new. I can go live on Whatnot. They still got the paper. You see that? I can go live on Whatnot and sell these. I don't need to be a part of TikTok shop, which I am, right? I am. But I can go there and I can set up, and in any given day, these will go for $100. These are a size 6, 6.5, 6.5. You see that? Make your money, and guess what? Ship it out. So I know how much these probably, I can measure these out, the whole thing, the whole 9 yards. And when you go through the shipping process, it's particularly simple. And why am I telling y'all that? Because I have 2 stores. I have one on Amazon, and y'all hear me talk about Amazon all the time, or Walmart. I have 2 stores. I have one on Walmart and I have one on Amazon. So this part is easy. All you do is you weigh it. You buy you a little scale and you weigh it. And it'll pull up options for you. Mm-hmm. And it'll say, oh, if you ship it by FedEx, it'll be this. If you ship it by UPS, USPS, it's going to cost you $6 and some change. And you just select the one that you want. And you also make sure that if you're selling this for, this brand new pair of these fabulous riding boots, you make sure that it's got enough in there for you to charge for the shipping so you don't eat that. Funny you should ask, Morningstar. That's exactly what we're talking about right now. Yep, we are. And I'm eating it. Trust me, Global Palette. Trust me. But I had to make a decision. Do I stand for this or what? Because one of the things that I'll tell anybody is that the majority of the stores that you see, when you see like the name of the store, guess what, folks? Those are small vendors like me that are on there. Size 13 shoe, Keisha? No, I don't have one. I think the highest that goes is to 8.5 over here. I think, if I didn't sell them. So I had to make a decision. I was like, okay, now what am I going to do with this? If I so my Amazon store, here's a true story now. When I finally I shut my Amazon store off. Y'all know how hard that was to do? Nobody knew that. You're 6 foot. You're tall like my daughter. Yeah, it was hard. It was, I'm not gonna lie. It was difficult. But I was like, I gotta stand for something. And I messed around and I found out about whatnot. And I said, oh. And big as my mouth is, I'm not saying this to talk about me. What I'm saying is there are options on keeping more of your money in your pocket and also to become a part of this online commerce that's happening right now without having to do, the good family. Yes, you want, and they're in major grocery stores. I did, Shell, and it wasn't easy. I'm not gonna lie. Yep, use those local gardens. So y'all, we have options. Yeah, and I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Online commerce is not for the faint at heart. But whatnot makes it easier because you're going live. Now you can set up your store on there, but you can also go live as well. So I'm in a couple of whatnot groups and stuff on Meta. And I just kind of peruse through because eventually I got to move this stuff. It ain't doing me no good sitting here. But the other reason why I'm bringing this up is if you want to create that, number one, side hustle for yourself, and you want to help to contribute back to the internal community that's a good way to start. Sacrifice want versus need. Good night to you as well. Come back and see us. I like I said, I do hope that this is helpful because when I say get out your feelings, again, I'm not saying don't pay attention to what's happening and close your eyes. Absolutely not. Pay attention, keep your head on the swivel, and pay attention to what is currently happening. It is all about the money for these folks. They don't care. No EBT and disabled. I'm disabled because of getting overdosed by ambulance drivers. If I go live, they're gonna what? They're gonna know it, Morningstar? I'm sorry to hear that. But if this was helpful, I would like to know. Shoot some hearts, do something, let me know. I'd appreciate that. Just to let me know that you guys are here. I really do appreciate that. I'm not that kind of person to be like, going ahead and get hearts and I get y'all the answer. No, we ain't doing that. I want everybody to win. Yes, you know what else we could talk about? We could talk about the folks that are being laid off. We could talk about all of that. Let me explain something to y'all. Y'all know that if they're letting these people go, they will be replaced. Where you gonna be in that? And I'm not saying that you should set yourself up to be a loyalist, because I know people that have applied for opportunities just to see what the application process is like, and they want to know if you're gonna be loyal. How dare you? They had to bring you back. Ooh, child. Yep, local food pantry, because we're gonna need it. It's gonna be people. Matter of fact, I know I have a shelf full of food over here that I know has been over there for about 3 months. It's time for me to give it away. Or we shop. You can open up an LLC and get you an EIN and keep it moving. Ooh. I'm just saying. And here's the thing. Even if that were the case, if you taking cash and your Venmo or your Cash App or whatever is in the name of your business, what? I ain't saying nothing. Listen. But again, I digress. I digress. I'm just saying we have to start getting creative. We have to get out of our feelings in order to deal with this current administration, because all they are doing, I have not heard, Sugar Mama, that they are withholding Social Security checks. I'm not even sure. Let's talk about the People Sick Day real quick, because I know somebody did ask about that. Now, it's a labor and workers' rights group talking about the People Sick Day. And it's meant to show what happens when large group of workers stay home, highlighting how essential their labor is and pressuring employers or governments to make changes. Let me tell you why that works, and then it won't. Because eventually you're going to go back to work, and they know it. I think it's a great idea. I'm never going to take away from it. Hey, Carol Sue, yours is due for you tomorrow. Oh, it is about that time of the month, isn't it? Okay, definitely. Let me know. Definitely. So it's similar to a strike, but again, when it's over, see, here's the thing. These things end. I hear you. I hear you. And to the young lady that was it AKA Morning? Oh no, it was Morningstar. So Morningstar, what I will say is, number one, I'm with Billy on this one, or Bill. I'm glad you're still here. But let me also say this. If you're to the point where you can, move or whatever, or if you have someone that can help you, I've seen people on Whatnot. One guy on there, I know he don't even have arms. I'm for real. Now, I haven't seen him in a while, but I know he was on there selling. Because in his head, he's probably like, who gonna hire me? All right, so let's look it up. I'm gonna Google it. You getting there? Good. All right, now what it says here, Social Security is funded through a separate trust fund. not the annual appropriations process. That means checks continue to be issued automatically regardless of a shutdown. Retirement, disability, SSDI, and survivors' benefits will continue to be paid. One day at a time, that's right, for Morningstar. Absolutely. However, services may be slowed or limited. Now, that wouldn't surprise me. Even though benefits are still being paid, staffing at the Social Security Administration is impacted. Many SSA employees were furloughed. Now, I do know that to be a fact because my good friend who lives in Dallas, they were furloughed day one. She has not worked in 21 days. And so she's having to reach out to her leasing office because now she's in that place where you get that rid of dispossessory. Okay, now what it may cause delays in is processing new benefit applications, replacing lost Social Security cards, answering calls and handling appeals, and updating records or resolving payment issues. Medicare and Medicaid are also funded separately and continues during a shutdown because they are mandatory programs funded outside of discretionary appropriations. You read online that more Social Security employees are being furloughed. Yeah. Yeah. Now that has come up, just like they're looking to privatize student loans. But see, remember early on, the people in the neighborhood, we've been talking about this. We knew that this was coming. Tracy, what was your daughter told? Good night, Kelly Beans. Hope to see you soon. Okay. All right, let me see what's going on. Okay, so yeah, there's one. Yeah, we've been talking about it for a while, right, Kayshawn? We've known how poor mid-class folks still. Well, we know why, Sugar Mama. We know why. Because they didn't think that it was going to impact them. They did it because, at one point, and gosh, I hate to say it like this, but they just didn't think it was going to impact them. He said he was going after everybody else. He was going to do this. He was going to do that. Da da da. But if we had slowed down long enough to stop thinking that this was a WWE experience, we would have paid attention to that, to everything that he said he was going to do. He's doing it. Oh my God. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh my God. Oh, look. Okay. All right. Jesus. Okay. Hang on, Billy. My God, today. Yes, he did. He did say that. Now, the KTAP, which is a part of Kentucky, it's basically federal TANF grants. It's basically welfare is what it is, right? It will be impacted by the shutdown under certain conditions. Here's what we know so far. According to the Kentucky Lantern and WEKU, because KTAP Kentucky, for the person that asked, is funded by federal TANF grants, a discretionary block grant to states, if the federal government's appropriations lapse, the funding to states for TANF-related programs can be disrupted. Now, a recent report notes, while the shutdown continues, Kentucky will also not receive those funds from the federal government for KTAP. The state is going to foot the cost for November, but cannot guarantee anything beyond that. I don't know who that was that asked that question. I just wanted you to know I got that from the Kentucky Lantern. Okay. Now, what they're trying to do is cover KTAP payments for the month of November, despite the federal funding shortfall. So the state is trying to pick up those costs. But if it's anything past November, they can't guarantee it. Okay. Get in your closets, download that Whatnot app and get to it. Colorado not getting any EBT. The SNAP benefits are on hold pending federal appropriations. That's going to impact 600,000 Coloradans. And I got that from the Denver 7. The Denver 7. State agencies and counties are directing SNAP households to local food banks and community resources in anticipation of possible delays of non-issuance. The Denver the Denver 7 is where I got this information. Spin the Talk, you got a letter last week. Billy, where you at? Oh, you're about 40 miles from me. Wow. SNAP benefits for Georgia did go out for October. But if the shutdown continues, as we currently see, we're at day 21, it could run out of funds within a short time. And what that means is if you receive SNAP in Georgia, you should be able to use your EBT card in October as normal because you should have funds on there unless, of course, you've spent them all. But there's no guarantee, it says here, on whether the benefit will be issued or will be delayed, reduced, or suspended, depending how long funding remains unresolved. Yep. And that source, let me tell you where I got it from. AtlantaNewsFirst.com. You can go there and check it out. Iowa. Let's look at Iowa. It looks like if it's EBT, nobody's going to get them. But if it's their local TANF program, some states are going to try to cover it. So Iowa has received notification from the Federal Food and Nutrition Service that if the shutdown continues, the November benefits will not be issued. Food banks in Iowa are preparing for increased demand because of the risk of missing benefits. Yep. KCCI, Iowa Food Pantry, brace for increased demand as SNAP benefits threatened by government shutdown. That went out today on KCCI News. Texas, let's see. Deep in the heart of Texas. Now, you notice I'm citing sources, so if you want to dig deeper, you can. Same thing. If the shutdown continues past the 27th, which is Monday, SNAP benefits will not be issued in Texas. That is going to impact 3.5 million people, according to TPR and the Texas Tribune. The USDA directed states to pause submitting certain electronic benefit transfer vendor files. And a lot of people heard me. I actually read that letter. I did not. Let's go to Florida. Florida state officials, according to Fox 13 Tampa, is cautioning that while October is covered, November benefits will be delayed, reduced, or possibly suspended the same. North Carolina, let's take a look. I haven't seen one that says that they'll cover it. Not one state. Oh, there's a law that says they can't. What is the name of that law? Federal agency has informed states that available funds are not sufficient. North Carolina DHHS. To guarantee full issuance. Oklahoma. Remember, if you can write down where I'm getting this from, you can go and check it out in further detail. I'm looking for the hot spots. Welcome to Oklahoma. Same thing. Notified by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA. Same thing. Suspended for beginning November 1st. Unless the government shutdown is resolved. It's going to affect 684,600. Kansas? We're not in Kansas anymore. All right, Rosemary, you have a good one. Kansas, let's take a look. New Jersey. Wow, Carol Sue. Go ahead, Rosemary. Okay, same thing. According to the Kansas Reflector, nada, insufficient funds for November. It's going to impact 93,000 households. Monthly distributions around $34 million under normal conditions will not be distributed. I did not look for Nevada. Philadelphia. The DSS website, according to dss.nv.gov, if the federal shutdown continues past October 31st, November benefits will be delayed. News reports in Nevada indicate food banks expect increased demand due to this uncertainty. Now, what's different here is they're trying their best to keep the WIC program open. Hey, Wealthy Women's Lifestyle. How are you, Nicole? Illinois? Let's go there. Let's do Philadelphia first. You tired? Yep, Morningstar, they can. But you know what? I don't mind. Okay. According to Pennsylvania government, due to federal shutdown, I'm actually on their website. Unless Congress takes immediate action, SNAP payments will not be issued for November. Nope, I didn't say Ohio. Hold on. What was the one after Philly? Did we do New Jersey? No, we didn't do New Jersey. No, at this point, we're not seeing anything. We did Texas. They will not be receiving anything. Okay, Illinois. That's up next. Thank you, Nicole. Nope. New Jersey either. Let's do Illinois. Now, that's according to the Fox 29 Philadelphia. Same thing. November 1st is the cutoff for funding SNAP benefits unless federal appropriations are restored. It is 100% federally funded and has stated it does not have the budgetary capacity to cover the gap. Of course, Sharika, not a problem. Welcome to the neighborhood. You are Billy. You're a for real neighbor. You're right up the street. Somebody said, was it Ohio? Let's see. Now remember, I'm giving you the website so you can go and check it out yourself if you need to for the state when I call it out. secondharvestfoodbank.org for Ohio. Let me say that again. secondharvestfoodbank.org. November 2025 SNAP benefits may not be funded fully or may be delayed if the government does not get back up and running. Yep. Again, let me give you that website. I got that information from secondharvestfoodbank.org. Somebody said Maryland. Let's go. Same thing. Nada. Nothing at all. It is saying that if you are currently using your EBT, use it as normal, because you're not if you have funds that are on there and they're still on there from till November 1st, they'll still be there, right? So if you got an extra $50 or $10 or whatever is going to be on your card, then you'll have that. No state, correct, has guaranteed full funding. Now that one state, I think it was Nevada, no, what state was that? It was early on. They said they're trying to cover it, but I don't know how they're going to be able to do that with the amount of money that they need to come up with. Now, I thought we did Kentucky. We didn't do Kentucky. It was Kentucky. That's right. They're trying to find the funds. So the first thing, of course, we know is to go to your local food banks and pantries. Right now might not be a bad idea to start looking. And here's the thing, especially if you know a couple things. Let's talk about this. Let's put this in perspective, folks, because let's not get brand new and act like some of y'all is getting super duper crazy amounts of food stamps or EBT or SNAP, because you're not. So some of you all are already knowing what food banks to go to and when. Okay. Some states are attempting partial payments, but according to the list that I just saw here in their news sites, not one of them is. So some of you guys know, oh, well, maybe on Monday I know I can get my meat from this location, but here's what's going to be different. It'll probably be more people in line with you. Okay, it ain't gonna be everybody wake up, let's stand up. Yeah, Morningstar, I called the food banks. They are changing. Yes, a lot of them are going to be changing because they already know. They're probably already getting calls. And here's something else too, folks. Thanksgiving is next month for those that will be celebrating. I do not. I'm just saying. Okay. So people are trying to find that extra because kids are going to be out of school at least until that following week. Me neither, Kayshawn. But some people may be trying to find out what their other options currently are. Your local churches, emergency grocery boxes. You may find additional deals. Here's something else too. Don't In some grocery store, there's a grocery store around the corner from me. It's called Food Depot. They keep like 2 to 3 baskets of like items, fresh vegetables, not fresh, but like it's a bit like day old stuff that they know they're getting ready to get rid of. 50 cents, 25 cents. I go and ravage that sucker any chance I get. Because it's not just me here in the house. You have one in your state? Yeah. That's one. Local food banks and pantries, your churches, community kitchens and free meal programs, synagogues, nonprofits, local governments often offer hot meals or meal pickup programs like meals. So here's the other thing. Find out whether or not you still have Meals on Wheels in your area, because that was federally funded, unless, of course, your state picked up the tab. Like here in Georgia, Meals on Wheels is paid for locally. WIC. If you have your vouchers for this month, I will go ahead and try to get those together. You can freeze the milk if you need. I used to do that. Aldi is having the $40 deal. If it were me, even though you may not celebrate a massacre like Kayshawn said, you may be able to get if you know a couple people, get y'all, a couple of those and put it up in your freezer, whatever, kind of keep some food around. And here's something else too, folks. It's okay to use staples. What do I mean by staples? I'm not talking about the one to connect the paper with. I'm talking about basic staples. A big bag of flour, get you a bag of rice, get you a 10-pound bag of potatoes, get you some sugar. I'm dead serious. Like some of these things, like a bunch of meat, whenever I get an opportunity, one of the things that I don't cook often, not like I used to, but every once in a while, if I feel like it and I look down, you'll see like a 59-cent bag, 1-pound bag of beans. Pick them up. Get you some navy beans, pinto beans. Get you some black bean, whatever your heart's desire, and make sure you have those put up. Yeah, if nothing else, make some good cooks out of it. Here's something else. There may be in your area, like it is here, we have a surplus grocery store here. So if Billy is still here, there's a local joint right here, 40 miles from you. It's called Wilson's. Wilson, might be 50, depending on how far you are in Macon. But it's called Wilson's. It's a discount grocery store that's here. Now I will rock that bad boy out and fill my deep freezer up. Yep, beans grow quickly. So it's some simple things that we can do. Onions, things that you can keep, like sweet potatoes and stuff like this. You know what I mean? See, that's the other thing. Those college campuses, they do. I know my daughter's college campus had a food bank and a pantry, because a lot of those students, she didn't even qualify for food stamps. It was ridiculous. Oh, okay. So you know about Wilson's? Honey, listen. Wilson sees me like every 2 weeks. I was just in Thomaston, literally Saturday. Do you really, Bernice? Good. Well, welcome to the neighborhood. It's just simple, basic things, right? What we're not going to do is sit up and complain. No, we're not doing that. No, time out for that. Get out your feelings. Let's get squash. There's something else. It's a bunch of squash and stuff. And right now, these people, they're not giving it away, but you can probably hit up a couple of flea markets in your area or farmers markets, and they'll have fresh fruits and vegetables out there for the low. If you have a freezer, use it. Cut that stuff up and put it in there. Here's the thing, you might not like, but I'm just saying, you could do a quick meal prep, get you one of those big bags of leg quarters, cook that stuff up. If you don't, because some people come in here, Auntie, I'm vegan. Then eat the peas, baby. Eat the peas. Just I'm serious. Use it. Use your freezer. It's time for us to go back to what the old heads taught us how to do. Every house I've had a deep freezer. I'm not going, or excuse me, a chest freezer. And it will be full like it is now. Yep, government cheese. You can freeze cheese. Guess what else you can freeze? Bread. Get you, like I said, get a bag of beans. Do what you got to do. Handle your business. Milk, you can freeze milk, like I said. What happened with my garden? Oh, honey, we ate those beans. Matter of fact, I went live and cooked them. Ziploc bags. Yep, my garden. Matter of fact, it's time for me to harvest some more. Cheryl, to be honest with you, we grew tomatoes, we grew bell peppers, and I grew some jalapenos. And I cut up the jalapenos and I put them in a brine. They're in the refrigerator now. Yep, freeze your bread. If you catch it on sale, freeze it. You were born in the 60s. You were helping your community. And I know when I was coming up, we had something, but see, this was in Wisconsin. We had something called Share, Project Share, where like we helped in the food bank, and you paid $15 a month, you got $100 worth of food. So if you paid $30, you got $200 worth of food. We did whatever, but here's one thing I can guarantee you. Nobody ever went hungry. Right, Tracy. Tell it like it is. Thank you. And I'm gonna go here, and I know I'm gonna piss somebody off. You are not gonna sit here and tell me that if you are getting any amount of food stamps that you were just randomly just buying up, unless of course you're in a situation where you don't have a refrigerator or a deep freezer or whatever. And even now, let me put this in perspective. Going forward, do what you have to do to make sure that you got your staples. Like I said, your rice, your flour, your cornmeal. Get you even if you have to start with a 5-pound bag of sugar, whatever you got to do, your potatoes, your sweet potatoes, your root vegetables, your onions, things that don't need to be refrigerated, keep those suckers. Now, those potatoes, every once in a while, you make sure they don't rot because they'll have your house cutting up, stanking. But keep your staples. Keep you some beans. And I'm not talking about in the can. I'm talking about just regular beans. Yes. During times like this, don't act like you fancy. You better take your tail over to Dollar General. Yep, canned fruit, canned goods, oatmeal, yes. And we're not grits or cream of wheat, whichever is your fancy. It may not be what you want, but I bet you'll eat. Go to the clearance aisle. Take you $5 or $6. This is what I do. If I ever feel like I just really want to go, how long it just really depends. If you keep them in a dark, cool area, they'll be fine. This is what I do. If I really just feel like I just need to get up and leave the house, one of the things that I do is I will take $5 or $6 and I go around the corner and I hit up the clearance aisle. Yep, pancake mix. I thought about that. Protein bars will sustain you for a while. Yes, if you can get them for the low. Yep. Plant a garden if you can. It's probably getting a little too chilly for that, but always prepare. Always be prepared because you don't know. Yep, grits. Carrots if that's your thing. Yeah, you can learn how to make bread. You can freeze butter, folks. So when you catch this stuff on sale, freeze it. Tori, it is very therapeutic. Yep, you got a lot of butter from Kroger on sale and frozen. There you go. We got to do what we got to do. And I don't get food stamps. But this is some of the stuff that I do. Because I was like, I'm never getting caught with my pants down like that. Y'all, I just got a violation because I'm telling y'all to shop for groceries. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Freeze your butter. I just did. Mess don't sleep. Isn't that wild? I sure did. It just popped up. Said that I'm redirecting people to go somewhere else. Every time you go to a store, yeah. Because I'm telling you guys how to prepare for this. Like if you know that you're getting EBT and it's not going to be there, this is just good information. Yeah. So flour, oatmeal, pancakes in the fridge last longer. Yes. But those regular shelf items like rice and stuff like that, absolutely. I do too. And you don't need a lot of it. It's for people who are, yeah, peanut butter is another one. Yep, water. I hope you all have found this cream of wheat. Y'all remember cream of wheat? Listen, let's ask this question. Who in here remembers cream of wheat and is okay admitting that you know what cream of wheat is? And keep it cool so you don't get pantry moths. And it's okay, y'all. You can seal some of this stuff up. My mom used to put cocoa in ours. Malto meal. Listen, you have some? Yes. Get you some of it. So was this helpful, y'all? It's like grits, Jackie. That's all it is. I think it's just finer. And if you're from up north, I ate it a lot. But that's all it is. It's finer than grits. Because grits is exactly what it is. It's gritty. But cream of wheat is very creamy and smooth. Butter, oh, and a little bit. Tell them how it is with a little butter and sugar. Yep, your mom had 9 children. Yep, this was helpful. Yes, and especially if you've not, and there are a lot of people just haven't done it because you haven't had to. Well, the way things are currently looking right now, some of you guys may have to. And this is not a cut on anybody. We just want to get ahead of the game. Make a list of the areas in your community, even if you have to. What is that number? Is it 411? I sound like I done been through some, huh? Rice, butter, sugar. Come on, Bernice. Yes, we ate rice, butter, sugar, and milk. 211. It's 211. Thank you, Billy. 211. Let's look it up. 211. So when I was living in Macon, funny you should say that, United Way of Greater Atlanta. And it's called if you live in the Atlanta area, it's called 211. But it's United Way is basically what it is. And you can call this number And it'll give you a list of places that you can go for different items, right? So when I was living, this true story, when I was living in Macon off of Hazel Street, and I worked at Emory University, I knew that on Mondays that there was a church, I think, that gave away free bread. So I would go down there. Oh, because I mentioned the store name. Oh, for God's sake. We do that all the time here. No, I honestly didn't. I just figured it out because I was like, I have these kids and we're not going hungry. Bella, they really are. They really are. It's okay. So what I would do is I would literally figure out on Mondays, I knew to pick up bread. I'd be the first in line. And I would get bread, I would get donuts, I would get all the things. And they would have so much, because see, here's something else. Your local grocer has so much product, they're throwing some of it away. Thank you, Tori. I appreciate that. Yeah. So a lot of these places are throwing them away. These packaged goods. And now in most areas, there are these small little bakeries that sell your cupcakes and stuff like that for like 50 cents, 99 cents, whatever. Yeah. So there's ways around it. And then on Wednesdays, I knew where to go to get discounts on chicken, pork chops, roast if I was going to get it. Yep. Hey, Michael Windsor, how are you? I think it's called Flowers. Where I'm at too. And that too, I'm going to be real with you. And I can cook my tail off. I'm not staying all day in the kitchen. Hey, Aiden. I'm not staying in the kitchen all day. So like, you a slow typer? Yep. If you have a bakery in your area, Miss Dolly Madison, yep, all of those outlets. Yes, you can get that if that's your thing. Or you can bake it yourself. Like one of my things when my kids were younger, they're grown now. One of the things I would do is they would get a dessert a week. I would bake a cake. I would do a dump cake. How many of y'all make dump cakes? Y'all make dump cakes out here. Yep. Cook one day, prep several meals, freeze. Get you a couple of dump cakes and make those with some canned peaches, canned apples, cherries, whatever. Listen. And a cake mix, a box of cakes mix, sprinkle it, a stick of what? Or a stick and a half in my house. Man, listen, Michelle, what you know about that? And that's all you needed. And people would think you had spent all day in the kitchen. I was just like this. Hurry up, open up a can, dump it in there, cake mix on top. By the time the kids came home from school, what? I was a stay-at-home mom at one time. When my ex was on the ship full time and I was pregnant with KJ, they got a meal every day. Yes. Every day. Some kind of casserole. I would do a tuna casserole. I didn't need hamburger helper because I would buy the elbow macaroni. And you know, you could get those, especially when I was couponing heavy. I could get elbow macaroni literally almost for free. Ground beef, some peas, a little cheese in there. Listen. Casserole it up, put it in the oven. Less salt. That's exactly how I did it. We didn't go hungry. I know how to do that. I was like, how am I going to feed these kids? Because I had 3 daughters and KJ was on the way. And nobody was hungry. Nobody. So I did what I had to do. But I knew what day I could go where. So you might have to figure that out in your area if you're running out of food and there's not enough. Right? So something to think about. Something to think about. All right. We learned a lot today, didn't you? Dunk cake. Yep. Bernice, listen, let me tell you something. I'm trying to inspire myself. I have days where I'm like, oh, listen, am I gonna make it through another day? What's happening? What's going on? We will be just fine. We're gonna be fine because we've our parents have done this before, our grandparents have done this before. We've talked about this, and you watch me all the time. Well, thank you, Bernice. Yeah. Well, welcome to the neighborhood. Seriously. So this is honestly, and I'm gonna go back to what I was saying before. We have to get out our feelings and we have to understand, even though we don't like it. These folks are not thinking about the people overall. This is a money game for them. We don't have to like it, but we have to come to the realization that their emotions are not in this. It's not. And if you can gain the clarity there, you'll be able to say, okay, now what can I do? Even if it's just you by yourself, or what can a couple of you all do in your community? You can barter, you can use different apps, you can do all kinds of things. You can sell things in your community and online. It's all kinds of things that you can do to keep your money local. Keep your money local. Why? Because more of it in your community means more of it will spend more time in your community. And eventually it's going to impact your community in positive ways. Not only that, you get an opportunity to meet some cool people that you probably didn't know existed out there. Creating an economy within this economy. I am all for no kings. I'm all for all of that. But guess what? Eventually you go clock back in. Come on, Maureen. You see what I'm saying? She said, I'm watching while canning beans. I think it may have even been yesterday when I had the realization we could continue to have these conversations about how awful things are and how things are and da-da-da-da-da. Let's keep it 100. Some of us ain't been hit hard yet. Some of us haven't. Some of us have not seen families get picked up yet. Some of us have not had anybody knock on our door. Do you see what I'm saying? We haven't. So we haven't. The reason why we are still very quiet about a lot of things is because it hasn't hit us yet. A lot of us. I'm gonna make a list. Yeah, they're camping out at Home Depot too. Home Depot has like this whole surveillance thing, and they're helping them to identify who these people are. Because again, this is about the money. It's about the what? It's about the money. It's about the money. That's it. So once we know that, and I know we know that once we know that, we can do something about it. Shop local. I say it every day. I know y'all sick of me saying it. But I don't think anybody gets it yet. If we're doing that, we can pull back on a lot of stuff. Look in your closets to see how many of the same things that you currently have that you can get rid of or sell. And that's all right, Michelle. Because eventually the knock is going to hit everybody's door. Not yet, sugar mama. Not yet, they don't. They will. Mm-mm. Like I said, people sick day, that's cool. No kings, that's cool. But what happens after that? What happens when you clock back in? What happens when your weekend is over and you go back to work? What happens when the traffic begins again? The Montgomery boycott, again, lasted 381 days. We have to be able to identify what is most important to us, and we need to stick with something. You miss your Georgia friends? And while they crashing out, be in there stirring your beans. Don't let it flip you out too tough. Take care of your home. Do whatever you need to do. And like I tell other people here as well, I have a pretty decent sized home. If you don't need to move out, don't. If there's a couple of y'all living together right now, stay where you at. It has to be a long game. It just does. And I watched my foster parents do that for years. They had a huge house. You need a place to stay? How many kids? Oh, okay, come on. Let's give you a room. Everybody had a room. Everybody ate together. All the things. Mm-hmm. Nobody ever went hungry because everybody pulled their resources together. Did you hear what I said? Everybody pulled their resources together. We don't know how to do that anymore in a lot of our communities. We like to live in silos because we don't want anybody to have our DVD player in our VCRs. And of course, I'm being silly. But if this is what it's going to take, we're going to have to live like that. You know, here's the thing. I am but one person. This house has 4 bedrooms. And each room has its own bathroom. Everybody is responsible for something in this house. And I told them, if I birthed you, you stay long as you need. But you will pay your way while you're here. So everybody wins. So you can do what you need to do. Everybody know the rules. And the true and the same would hold true for other people. If we could learn how to get out of our own way and understand, just get you some space off to yourself and do whatever you need to do, right? Do whatever you need to do. Have a good one, Cheryl. Y'all, it's 11:30. Jesus, I need to go myself. I said I was going to be done at 10 o'clock. I'm still here. I've been here since 8 o'clock. I hope this was good. Isn't this better, though, honestly, than constantly talking about the administration and what's good, what's bad? We know what's good, what's bad. Yeah, we still going to talk about it. Yeah, you still going to get the news. We're going to come here and we're going to figure some things out along the way. We have to. Hey, Damien, how are you? Hey, Christy. And again, if you're new here, welcome to the neighborhood. I'm Paulette, owner and founder of Brownstone Worldwide, Cityscape Radio, and Brownstone Living Magazine. The strategy has to be, we have to learn how to keep more of our money in our pocket, if not all. Of course, Michelle, come back and see us. I have no idea, Jan. I heard it was a lot of people out there. Hey, Pam. I'm just now seeing you. How you doing tonight? Damien, we are here, honey. We are neighbors. Welcome to the neighborhood. If it was good, I mean, like I said, I am not against what happened. I think it was amazing. I think a message was sent, but what's the long-term impact? That's what I would like to see. What was the long-term impact of it? It was worth it? Good. I know. Exactly. So again, I think let's do a recap and then we're gonna start shutting it down. I got about 4 minutes. One of the things that we talked about was learning how to get out of our feelings. The first thing that we talked about was the new ballroom. Who's donating the millions of dollars to get it done? And then once we went down the rabbit hole, we figured out that these are the same people that helped do this. And it was the same group of people that did that. And it was the same people that was at the inaugural ball. And it was the same people that was at the inauguration standing behind him. And we thought, well, wait a minute. Well, hold on just a minute. That's just like with me being a part of my local chamber and everybody knows each other and everybody's trying to make money to make sure that they're able to do whatever they need to do. So what if this is just on a larger scale? Because it is. Here's what I know. If I continue to do shoddy business or I'm not doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, what happens? I'll get shut down because people will stop what? Spending money with me. Right? Same here. So what we learned today is we have to get out our feelings and we just have to look at it for what it is. They're making money. That's it. They're making money. And you know what? They're going to throw a couple of dollars at some philanthropic programs and get a write-off at the end of the day. But as long as they continue to feed into this current machine right now, they'll benefit. They're going to continue to benefit. So they paid to be in the room. We know how they did that, right? Through donations, through helping with political campaigns, through political action committees and so forth. So they paid to be in the room. Sure will, Carol Sue, eventually. But until then, keep your money in your pocket. Whatever that looks like for you. And take some of the tips that we talked about amongst ourselves here to make sure your family eats if you're going to be impacted by the EBT issue, if the government does not open back up. It's time for us to be proactive and not complain so much. And we can still complain and we can roll our eyes and we can do all the things. But now it's time to say, all right, what's the end game, long game that we need to play? And we know what it is. I agree, Maela. Yep, whatever it is, we got to move forward. We can't sit still. We can't. There's no way. Yep, stock up. Hit up a couple of places to get your little groceries and stuff or whatever you need to do. But two things, you're going to be okay. Every last one of us is going to be fine. We know how to do this. Networking is going to be absolutely important. Doing business and doing business the right way with decency, in order, and integrity is going to be vital during this time. Keep the money in the community. Buy comfort food. Yes. Buy comfort food. Yes. They already are here. Certain items I haven't seen in a while. Yeah. Damien said, what? He's hitting on everyone. I'm married. Damien, we don't do that in here, honey. You can be a part of the neighborhood, but we don't tap down like that, baby. All right, folks. We've learned a lot today. Before we wrap, a couple of things. If you go over to my story, remember we talked about the people in the neighborhood. It is active. And if you want to be a part of the people in the neighborhood, let me explain to you what this is. Basically, this is one of the ways that we'll be able to continue to produce the news and information for you all and also provide Brownstone Living Magazine and our podcast shows to you all. It costs money to do that. I'm doing this 100% full time. I didn't know it was going to end up like this. It just started happening. I was like, wait a daggone minute. Outside of running the business, this costs money because I bring my team in to help with this. So we created the People in the Neighborhood. Hey, Tara Star, how are you? Teresa, how are you? And there are 3 different tiers that you can become a part of. It actually starts November 1st, and we're going to start communicating with you guys. We're already creating the content for it. And let's go over the 3 different tiers. The corner is $5 a month. Okay. It comes with 1 blog or vlog or podcast, let's call it what it is, that will not be on regular social media. Bonus video content that I'll be sharing with you guys, and access to a Patreon only thread and questions for the shows, shout outs, fan polls, birthday shout outs, stuff like that. That's $5. If you want to join the stoop, everything that's I just said to you, but at least you'll get a 1 full-length episode of me doing the Sunday brunch. It sounds like exactly what it is, and it comes with recipe cards. Private live stream of either the day shift or the night shift. This is the night shift, which means it would come off of social media. Live events. Yes, there are live events that are coming. Pre-sale codes, you'll get those first, okay? And you'll get a discount. Product discounts, like from Brownstone Blends. We actually have spices that we have, and merch discount codes. Take care, Kayshawn. And then lastly, Neighborhood Watch. If you want to be an ambassador where you literally are saying, I'm on watch and so is my neighbor, everything that comes in the stoop, plus you get Brownstone Living Magazine earlier than everybody else. Yes, $20. Early access to live events. Before anybody else gets it, you'll get access first. At least 2 exclusive Neighborhood Watch segments that have nothing to do with what I'm doing right now, right? 1 planning session and a meetup, either via a live feed or in person, depending on how many people is where, right? Access to private chat and community room. It's already set up and ready to go. And to provide on-the-ground information as an ambassador, that's what you do. Oh, that's right. Deals with Neil. You did get Brownstone Blends, didn't you? Virtual Neighborhood Watch. You get an ambassador badge and access to exclusive Neighborhood Watch planner, board sheets, all the things, right? And then also, as a member of Neighborhood Watch, is $20 a month. You'll get a merch and mention. So your name will end up in a raffle, and we'll pull that, and then you'll get merch and like a t-shirt or hat or cap or whatever that says Brownstone Worldwide, I'm a neighbor. And then also it'll be a monthly raffle, and then you'll be mentioned as one of the people in the neighborhood of Brownstone Living Magazine. So if you keep winning, there you go. All right. So I've shared it on a picture of myself in my stories on both platforms that I'm currently live on right now that has stories. So you can go ahead and check it out. I'll be talking about it a little bit more tomorrow with you guys. And yeah, so we're basically what we're doing is something is happening, and I want to continue to provide the news and information from the proper journalistic perspective, where it is correct, it is accurate, it is researched. And if we get it wrong, we come back and we own it. Right? So yeah, and therein lies that. And there will be some other things that you all will get that other folks won't get if they're just watching on Meta. But this actually will help to support what is going on, and you get direct connect. Now with the Neighborhood Watch as an ambassador, here's the thing. The cool thing is you'll be able to send directly to the community room news and information on the ground where you currently are. So we'll know what's going on. And one of the other things is I was in a meeting today. We will be adding a community bulletin board as well to help support some of those barters and stuff like that. Cool. All right, folks. 3 things that I always like to say before we end every single live. 1, love your life. It is the only one that you have. 2, live your life to the fullest and embrace everything that is your life, because you only get one you. You might as well enjoy it. And lastly, breathe through every single moment. Y'all, don't forget to come and hang out with us again tomorrow. I'm so happy that you were able to join us today. Join me throughout the day. We do news and information. And here's the thing, folks. That's what we do. News and information. That's it. All right. You guys get out here and enjoy the rest of your evening. Relax. Grab you something to drink. Wind down. We'll see you around.
Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This broadcast, Brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, excited. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. And that is MSG, the message in the message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, and things